And your money is on Team Dignitas to take it. And let's see whether they can go the whole way. We're about to start the pistol round, ladies and gentlemen. Great crowd joining us tonight here at Dreamhack Winter. Welcome to all of you and those online. This is the last quarter final. And it'll be Dignitas versus Navi on Cobblestone to kick us off. Navi starting on the CT side will line up with C's straight into Dupree. Starts the game with a headshot, and Cajun-B will look to join that. We'll talk about the Cajun-B return a little bit as well. Zeus picks himself up a frag, joined by Edward as the Navi side begin to reassert as Dignitas try to get quickly in towards that A site. They do exactly that, and it will be Guardian who connects with the head of Cajun-B. Device goes point blank range up against Dark. Edward returns the favor as Zipnix goes down, and we're all out of Danes with the Navi side able to secure the bomb.
Yeah, that was actually, Dignitas actually used a Fnatic strat. When we first played Fnatic, they used the exact same strat. It's basically they just want to take over connector, cut off the rotation, maybe kill the rotation guy, and then just go over to the smaller site, the A bomb site. They got the bomb down. They couldn't hold for the retake, but nonetheless, it's always good. Cobblestone is a seed-decided map. You want to at least try and get the money on your side so you can keep on buying. You want your ops. You want to be able to snipe them out. So even though they didn't win the round, they at least got the bomb down. They got a full save, and they got to buy next round.
Now, talk to us about the return of Cajun-B to Dignitas. What does he bring?
Cajun-B, I mean, I played with him for so many years in Source as well, and he's a very talented player, and he brings a lot of confidence in the team. The problem here for Cajun-B is that he doesn't really stick around too long. So I'm wondering, like, how long will he stick around for this time?
Device has picked himself up the M4 for Dignitas off the body of Edward, so minor opportunity for him, but let's see as they try to make entry towards the A side. Guardian having none of it, and just picking them off one by one, and that leaves just Cajun-B last man standing. It'll be 2-0 Navi.
Yep, and they didn't buy anything Dignitas, and they got the plan, so they're going to opt to buy. They're going to have all the nades they need, and they're not going to have an AWP, but they have all the nades, they have AKs, and obviously they picked the map, so they probably have something up their sleeve.
Well, let's see. This Dignitas side, you talked about Cajun-B not necessarily sticking around. Fetish is known for just being a dominating leader of that team, dragging his team through all levels of obscurity. How, well, we'll come to that as we're about to kick off in earnest. It's round 3, but for Dignitas, methodical start. And you said these are two teams that'll happily, use the clock and all of it.
Dignitas actually have two sides. They can either do it slow or they can do it fast. Whereas for Navi, they pretty much always do slow. Nice shot by Dupree.
Dupree jumps around the corner, takes off Guardian's head, and Dignitas have answered their good now is retreating further into that site. We'll be able, waiting for players to come through connector and help them out as the bomb is coming that way. But Dignitas making no such commitment, in fact, as they'll try to occupy that man today and keep those two Navi players between the two sites.
I like this from Dignitas. They're keeping Navi on their toes. They don't really know what to expect. Now we see Dignitas can group up and hit the big bomb site.
Device that will lead that charge for Dignitas as they come into Edward's domain. Sees, picks up frag number 1. It's Fetish that goes down. Zeus now will have action with Dupree, but players to his right as well. And Dupree comes charging around and gets the better of Zeus. Now Starrick's going to have to pull Navi back into this round as he does dispatch of Zipnix, but gets no further than Device. We're on a 2-on-2 Device with just 5 points of health as that nade will come in and pick him off. But we trade frag for frag and we're down to a 1-on-1. Cajun-B will have to get over there, but the clock will go. And Edward playing that by the numbers.
Yeah, Dignitas this is exactly what's going to happen with Navi as well. The time will run out. They probably didn't even think about it, and then all of a sudden, wait, we just lost a round. Even had the entire site. What happened?
How frustrating is that when it happened?
Yeah, I wasn't even paying attention to it. I was like, well, they have the site. Sure, it's close. But it should be fine.
Dignitas did get away with that AK and a couple of nades on Cajun B, but nothing else across the team. And Cobble's a map that's particularly challenging to eco on.
Yeah, and they do have an AK at least, so they can actually at least do some damage.
Sipnik's dropped by Guardian. Now, this Navi side have, not quite hit the heights that the franchise demands since it came from 1.6. What's held them back in Go?
I just think, though, since they don't go to that many events, they're actually a very good team. They always make it far in tournaments, but they always, they can't really contest the bigger teams in terms of like in the top three. But they're actually not a very bad team. They usually win a star ladder. They do really well when they're playing in Ukraine. It's just that they haven't really made this step in the majors that they, but we have a lot of those teams where they don't make it to the finals. Flipping does well. I think the best placement for Navi in a major, actually it might be semis. I'm not quite sure, or either semis or quarters. So they're around the same level as Dignitas.
At a major, I don't think they made it to the semis.
Probably quarters. I'm pretty sure they made a lot of groups at least once.
Yeah, they did in Cologne.
Yeah, and here we go. Fetish finally with an op. I'm actually quite surprised that they didn't give the op to Device. Maybe he's not comfortable on this map opping, but I think that would be the better choice here.
And it will be Fetish to just... Because they've had a CT player on the other side of the ramp there, but won't go there. Actually, that game in Cologne where they lost to Fnatic is now an infamous game where they lost to Fnatic in the quarters. As Fetish picked himself up that frag against Guardian. Dignitas with an opening here, which they'll try to funnel as they come over towards the A site. It's picked off by Fetish's ult once more, and Fetish strikes in, and the A site's beginning to open up for the days as they come in from Snow. He'll be Zipnix and Dupree, frag after frag, only sees dancing back up, and they have cleaned out. And from long A, they've asserted their dominance, and Seas will realize he can't prevent that bomb plan and will do his best to stay alive at this point and try to make it expensive.
Yeah, and apologies to Fetish. You proved me wrong. Don't give the off to Device. Keep it to yourself. You just out-opt Guardian. You got another one. You got 2 frags in your pocket.
So whether it's Thorin or Fifth Laren, there's criticism for Fetish. And what brings that out?
It's not criticism. Like, Fetish can off. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that Device, when he's on point, he's probably a better opper than Fetish is. But when it comes to when Device isn't comfortable playing with the op on certain maps, then Fetish is their secondary opper. And this is probably one of these maps. And again, I can't say anything. Like, Fetish got 2 kills, nice job, got Guardian, which is Navi's heavy hitter. And they got another one, they got 2 entries, and that won them the round.
No. Navi lead by 4 rounds to 1. What's a score that Dignitas will be happy in come halftime on T-side?
It's actually really hard to say because, again, this is a CT-sided map, but when you have teams that's never played them before, or at least not official, what I know, I think Dignitas have once, but Navi, for example, I don't think I've ever seen them play Cobble. Then it's actually quite really hard to tell, because if people aren't used to playing it.
Fetish gets the better of Guardian again, just sits and fires up that ramp, and there's nothing Guardian's been able to do 2 rounds in a row. Edward tries to take matters into his own hands, but Zipnix doesn't allow it, and Zeus this time watching for the exit from long A, and is there with a palm picking up that first. There's a second frag, and there's going to be more. No, Zeus will go no further, but he's done his job. That's allowed Seas to charge around, Judge down that CT ramp and waiting for incomers. And it will be Device who comes first. Second to Zipnix, and Seas knows he's there. Zipnix showed just a little skid, and he got off and picked it all up. Cajun B comes back, and on 22 points of health is up against Starix, who will get the better of him, and Navi 5-1. That was an opportunity for Dignitas.
Yes, it was. And just to answer your question, short and sweet, 10 plus. 10 plus rounds for Navi. That would be good for them. But yeah, I mean, it was a 5-on-3 for Dignitas. Zeus with 2 nice frags there, and then C's to pick up another 2, and then it leaves KGB with 21 points of health.
Now, 2 rounds in a row from mid-ramp shooting across up towards A. They've got the opening frag, and they've not been able to convert. Any advice?
Just waiting to see how this round pans out, but it seems to be an eco, and they seems to be getting pretty pummeled. Well, the advice would be, if you get an entry, again, this is a very hard map to play T on, because there's so many angles, there's so many corners that you can sit and hold. So just because you get an entry on this map, for example, it's not like you can rush the site. It's so especially when it's so many long angle or long distance fights that you're taking. So when you do get an entry, again, you want to take it slow and methodical. You want to make sure that you don't get picked while you're gaining map control. And I would suggest that this the A bomb site is, I would say, is a lot easier to take than the B bomb site is.
Well, Dignitas have tried A twice with weapons, and now they're going to try B as they charge straight out towards that B side. It's seized with an A that does the damage at first. Zeus follows up with a second, and now we'll go looking for frag number 3. Still a full complement of men up for Navi now as Zarix holds back, and through the smoke come the bullets of Zipniks, but Navi will maintain that wall of smoke as they pick up the next 2. Guardian gets them both. And Navi looking exceptional on CT side.
And this is what I mean with Dignitas. They're very adaptive in terms of they can either run slow or they can go fast. This was a fast round onto the B bomb sites. They just tried a pretty simple cobble B rush. It didn't pan out. They got shut down.
Didn't even make it onto the yard, but how hard is it when you know it's a biased map? How hard is it to not get too down on yourself?
Well, it's really important to know that you can't really expect too much of your performance on the T side. Like, you should be happy with the runs you get, and then just go back and just think, well, now it's our turn to play CT.
Here we go, coming out along A is the Dignitas assault. Pistols only for them as Edward and, well, just Edward will pick up some frags. They do lose 2 of their own. I think that's 3, but no drama here as Navi pull us up to an 8-1. And this has been a very quick first half.
Yes, it has. And what I will say, though, obviously, Dignitas will not be happy with 1 round. They need more rounds on the board. They need some leeway coming into the CT side so they can actually afford to make mistakes. Again, now we see Fetish with the op. He did a good job last time. Let's see if we can do it again.
Much rests on Fetish's shoulders. But an auto sniper on the other side of the fence, and Starks has picked that up. With Guardian AWPing as well. They'll have all the angles covered. Guardian retreats. Dignitas looking for that angle as they move Fetish around now over the long A to see whether he can challenge Edward. But Guardian has got the better of Zipniks. And Navi are a man to the good. Edward has been mercurial in his defense of A thus far. Fetish will make his way up, look up to the ramp and spying nothing. And Guardian, his opposite number, is on the hunt. You can just see the silhouette of Guardian as he looks for the leading man of Team Dignitas. But it's not to be. Zeus's grenade on the other side does dispatch of Device, and Dignitas are down 2 men. Make that free. Fetish is out for the count, courtesy of Edward. Does get picked off in the end. It's Guardian that goes down to the hands of KGB, who's taken this all on his lonesome. Will go for the 3rd frag. And will not get there, and Navi 9-1 up.
Yeah, they're doing a good job so far, Navi, on their CT side. They actually have Starix with the auto sniper all the way back at B. And that leaves the rest of so you give more leeway to Navi because they can run around, they can be in the connector, they can be ready for A, they can be ready for B. They're very fast on the rotate, which is what causing problems for Dignitas right now. I want to see that someone from Dignitas just, harass at the B bomb site a little bit, just to keep them there, so they're not that fast over to the smaller bomb site to help them out, and then just try and hit A. I would say a little bit faster. Smoke up Guardian, rush out, try and get him.
Well, Edward has been unstoppable today, and that's been the big problem. Guardian looking down the ramp and over to where we're about to see Fetish come out, and his flick shot doesn't quite come off. He'll pulling back as Fetish heeds the warning. But reinforcements coming on the other side of the map as Dignitas use Fetish's bait to claim the life of Starix over on B, as now it will be Zeus to return the favour. So Fetish in the baited A is over. Dignitas now need to get out in towards the B yard and get over to that site. Guardian has got Zipnix, but they're charging over towards the 1 point now and should get it down. Guardian is going to be challenged here by Dupree, who will, almost get the frag, but no dice. Guardian picks them off. Zeus is out for the count courtesy of Cage and B, and we've a 2-on-2 afterplant here with Dignitas with a real opportunity to get themselves back on the board. It'll be Edward, though, who's just completely uninterested, gets himself a headshot onto Cage and B, and Device. Nade does do damage, not a full health complement of health between the two. Jumps out, gets the first. Can he finish off the job? You bet he can. And Dignitas have their second round of the first half.
An extremely important round for Dignitas as well. Things were running away from them, and good job from Device there. He managed to hold the site. 1-on-2. Excellent.
What do you make of their route to that bomb site?
I like it. This is the stuff you need to do. You want to probably at this pace, by the looks of it, Guardian is hitting quite a few shots. Maybe try to avoid them. Hit the sites where you probably haven't been on before. See if it pays out. Again, Fetish with the op.
Spy Edward here, who's gone aggressive and made his way up towards the ladder room. And Dignitas, every time Fetish has had that or have gone A. Let's see whether he's able to put a cat amongst the pigeons. Fetish retreats, and Dignitas will look elsewhere.
And despite being 9-2 up for Navi, they have no money. Guardian has a pistol. If they lose this round, that would be good news for Dignitas. But they are indeed heading towards the B bomb site again, where we actually have stars with the auto sniper. This could be trouble.
Zeus picks up frag number 1. Dupree goes down, and that auto sniper rattles off into the distances. Sees, follows up onto Device, and Dignitas falling like flies. Do they have anything in their locker? Zipnix has 2. Fetishes all connects onto Starix, and they have 2-on-2 as Zipnix dances out and towards the middle of the B yard, looking for Edward, and Edward is going to connect onto Fetish. Zipnix will be 1-on-2 after this bomb has gone down. And Guardian has now picked up an AK and Nade. As that nade comes in, Zipnix will have to land this first. Almost! Can he finish off the job? You bet he can. Zipnix connects on the Guardian. 1-on-1, Edward versus Zipnix. Zipnix uses that smoke to buy himself some time. Dances around the bomb site. Here's the defuse, but watches Edward come around, and Edward was in no mood to wait around.
Yeah, good job, Edward. That was way too close to comfort. They actually got 3 entries. Dignitas managed to even it up 2-on-2, and then Zipnix is an extremely smart player in these situations. He actually almost had that. Now we should praise Edward. He's playing terrific so far.
Edward has totally owned the A site, and in that last round, pushing up into ladder and was able to pretty much call the Dignitas were not coming A. They moved, I think it was Guardian, over from A to B very, very quickly, and still somehow Dignitas got through.
Yeah. And now Dignitas has to save, so that's good news for Navi.
3 rounds left in this first half. Edward boosted up, dispatches of Fetish as he enters long A. And that will should just about be that for this eco.
That one's done.
I mean, it's a tough question, but what do you do differently if you're Dignitas at this point?
I mean, the thing about Cobble is you can't really do that much. You just need to work your picks, and if that doesn't pan out, you can try a rush like they didn't work out either. Then you just need to try some new stuff. They had a round that worked. That would probably, perhaps, I would actually A split. I would go more people to Skyfall, maybe 3 guys, and then 2 towards A, and then just try to split A.
Fetish has the orb once again, looking up the ramp as Edward burying his... Oh, it's Guardian this time who come all the way down ramp. Where is Edward? Guardian gets dropped by Dupree. And Seized will return the favor, but they've opened up by taking down that AWPer. This should allow Fetish to get into a position where he can try and lock down that A site. Won't happen forever as he made his way down the back. Device picks him up, and this is Dignitas' opportunity. Deep in A is Zeus, though, and Seas comes in to join the fun. Device goes down, and Dignitas are down to just 2 men. Zipnik's still standing, though, gets rid of Zeus, and now he needs some help from Fetish to bail him out of there. Fetish coming around, hasn't been able to affect this round as much as he would have done. The action's gone on whilst he's been in transition, and Fetish now pokes his head out. Can he spy that auto sniper that's locked his teammate Zipnik's down? And they move out, and Seas will begin to show. And there's Fetish doing what he does best. Gets rid of Seas. Last man up will be Starix. Downs Fetish, and now it's Zipnik. He's going to have to hit his first shot, but Starix denies. Navi, 12-2.
Yeah, and that round, Dignitas, they're playing way too slow. Way too slow. Smoke off connector, rush the site. You have there's one lobby player there guarding the bomb site. They even got the rotator, so they know that there's only one guy there. Rush it. Don't let the rest of the lobby, even Starix, that's all the way back at the B bomb site, rotate and help him out. They would have won that round if they just went rush it.
Dignitas push in and land the flag onto Seas. This is the last round of the first half, and Dignitas with their CCs have 2 frags. Navi with their full complement of weapons have 2 of their own. KGB's headshot will dispatch with Edward. There's going to be a plant here as well, and Dignitas have a 3-on-2, and they have got Starix's auto sniper. This may end up being the pick of the lot for Dignitas as Dupree is dropped by Zeus. Zeus dances around the yard looking for KGB. It'll be he who spots him first, down to 42 points of health. Guardian looks to return the favour with the AWP as well. But Zipnik is going to go and get that frag with the CC. But on top of the bomb is Guardian, who's got the AWP to swat off incoming Danes, and the bomb should just blow. And Guardian will go down in the end to Dignitas, but the round count just isn't high enough for the Danes.
No, I mean, right now, they at least got 3 rounds. I didn't expect them to win the last one. They only had pistols, they were rushing. Starix even had an auto sniper. They managed to actually get the site, to get the bomb down. It's a 3-on-2 situation, and they managed to win the round. So now, 3 rounds is a lot better than 2 in terms of they can still lose the pistol round here and manage to buy without Navi being on match point. That you probably couldn't have done if you only had 2 rounds on the board. 3 is actually something you can work with. And again, it's a steep-sided map. Dignitas, they have a lot of very talented robbers. KGB can off, Fetish can off, Device can off, and this is an off map.
Now, this very much sounds like the halftime we might have been talking about some years ago on Train. How easy is it to, in such a pressure situation, to have that scoreline against you and focus on just, you know the map is balanced in your favor once you move on to CT and get those points on the board?
Well, the main focus here for Dignitas is the pistol.